Representative Mark Genda or challenger Joe Strum? Who is the pro-gun champion in House District 41? Stay tuned, guys. We're breaking this down for you right now. Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here with the Indiana Firearms Coalition. The May 7th primary, it's almost here. And for a lot of gun owners in House District 41, you're asking us, between challenger Joe Strum and incumbent Mark Genda, who's going to fight for gun rights? It's the area over here north and west of the metro. It covers Boone, Clinton, Montgomery, and Tippecanoe counties, or I should say portions of all of these counties. And the question that you're asking us is not who says they're pro-gun. Everyone says they're pro-gun at election time, at least in a red state like Indiana. The question, as always, and especially these days, is who can gun voters count on to fight for our gun rights? Because just like in the United States Congress, we have a ton of Republicans in our own legislature who tell us they're pro-gun every 2 years, every 4 years, and then don't do a damn thing to fight for our gun rights once they're safely in office. And with the threats rising and a whole massive number of gun control bills filed for the first time in a very long time right here in Indy last session, we have got to be extra cautious these days. So what we have done at the Indiana Firearms Coalition is, once session adjourned, we took the time to survey every candidate running for office. We used the results of that candidate survey program combined with any voting histories for incumbent candidates and public statements and things like that to give you guys an objective snapshot on where these candidates stand, so you guys have the information you need to make a more informed decision. And so with this race, we're going to begin with Joe Strum. So Joe Strum is not the incumbent, and so we sent him a candidate survey program, and he filled it out 100% pro-gun. And what that means to us here at the Indiana Firearms Coalition is that not only will he vote pro-gun, he said he will lead the fight to expand gun rights by sponsoring pro-gun bills. So one of those we asked him about was the Second Amendment Preservation Act. We call it SAPA law for short. SAPA is an important issue right now. It's sweeping red America, because what SAPA does is it tells the White House, look, you can pass gun control through Congress and you can mandate this tyranny through the executive orders, but what you can't do, Joe, is use our cops to help you enforce your tyranny in our state. If you want to have federal authorities roll in here, we can't stop that, but you will not be able to use our cops, our troopers, our deputies to enforce your gun control agenda anymore. That's what SAPA law would do. It is a must-do here for Indiana, and Joe Strum said he will sponsor that bill if elected. And again, I want to be clear, sponsoring bills is a lot different than being willing to co-sponsor or vote for a bill. Next, we asked Joe Strum, would you help us go on offense to repeal red flag laws across the state? You know, it's a sad fact, but it's the truth. Indiana was the first Republican state to enact red flag laws back in 2005, long time ago, 2005. But it was expanded by the rhinos here in Indy in 2019, and just last year, Senate Republicans tried to expand it even further. Red flags are terrible. We should never have had them passed on the books here in Indiana, because what it allows a liberal judge to do is order the confiscation of your firearms based on a bogus complaint before you've ever been convicted of a crime. And ordinarily, it happens in secret ex parte hearings that you don't know about because you're at work, and you only find out when you come home and your firearms have all been confiscated. It's disgusting. Most other red states now are trying to actively ban red flag gun seizures. Not us. We still have them. We want to repeal them. Joe Strum says he would help lead the fight by sponsoring the bill to repeal red flag laws. All the rest of the questions we asked him, which were all based on bills that the gun grabbers filed this session, Strum was 100%. Would you defend our AR-15s? He says yes. Would you help defend our preemption law? Joe Strum says yes. See, the Democrats and some of the rhinos want to allow Marion County or the city of Indy and all the rest of our cities and counties by extension to enact their own gun control laws. Think about that. Marion County, Ryan Mears won't prosecute criminals, and we have these pathetic bail laws locally, and so we have an out-of-control crime problem because of liberal policies. But these people want to blame gun owners. They're saying if we could just have our own gun control laws, We could lock up more criminals. It's all BS, but what it would do is give a patchwork quilt system here in Indiana where every single town you drive through, you'd have to wonder, is my 15-round magazine here? Can I have an AR-15 in my truck here? Can I exercise constitutional carry here? It'd be a nightmare for gun owners all across the state. Joe Strum agrees. He'll defend our preemption law. He's opposed to any attempt to raise the age to 21 to buy a gun in Indiana. And he's a hell no on gun registration. So every question we ask Joe Strum, 100% pro-gun. This is not all the questions on our survey. It's all I could fit on the board here today, frankly. But to see his entire survey, go to our website, IndianaFirearmsCoalition.org, to see his and everybody else's candidate survey. So strong showing from Joe Strum. That brings up Mark Genda. Now, Mark has been in the office for just 2 years. He was a freshman just last year. And basically, every single question that Joe Strum answered well, Mark is refusing to fill out the survey, refusing to answer the same questions. We emailed the survey to Genda, we texted it to him, and we email it to him. So, I'm sorry, we mail it to him, excuse me. So, text, email, and mail, he's had 3 different opportunities to complete the survey, and he just won't do it. And that's not a good sign, because when candidates won't put their views in writing, especially in a primary, it's often a sign that the bad things are down the road. What we do know conclusively about Mark Genda is that when we've needed him in his first 2 years in office, he frankly was not there. We asked him, would you co-sponsor SEPA legislation just last 2023, last year? Mark refused to co-sponsor the Second Amendment Preservation Act. Not a good sign. This year, this past session, we asked him, would you help us by co-sponsoring repeal red flag laws? Our bill would, again, repeal this horrible law. We asked Genda, would you co-sponsor it? We need to build momentum. Genda refused to co-sponsor that bill either. And so all the rest of the questions we asked him, no answer. And the 2 big bills that he should have co-sponsored, he refused. But that's not even the worst of it. The real problem we have right now is you have to be aware of when it comes to Genda, as you can see right here until my marker about died, maybe you can't read that, is that just last year, Genda voted with the worst rhinos in the chamber, and I think every single House Democrat, for a trigger ban. This is House Bill 1365. The roll call vote number is 343. The date of the vote is April 3, 2023. And the time is 2:44 p.m. Basically, I don't trust anybody on social media, neither should you guys, so we give you guys the receipts. You can look it up for yourself. Again, HB 1365, roll call vote 343. What this was a ban on an accessory that mounts on the back of a Glock handgun. It's called a Glock switch, or there's different names for it. And it makes a semi-automatic handgun function as a full auto machine pistol. The thing is that they're already illegal. At the federal level, it's already a crime to possess these things. Everyone knows this. I'll say it, they shouldn't be. It's an infringement. And the ATF has no damn authority to do this kind of stuff on their own. It has to go through Congress first. It didn't. But the point here is that it's already a crime to possess these things federally. And then the Democrats come along in 23 and they say, we want to take away all the oxygen from the pro-gun camp. Because we're trying to pass SEPA last session. The Democrats don't like it. So they're trying to figure out, how can we destroy this momentum? So they draft a bill to mirror federal the rules on these Glock switches. And they go to Republican leadership and say, would you help us pass a gun control bill? No, what they should have said is, get the heck out of our office. This is not a problem that we have to address, certainly not now. It's already against the law. But instead, the rhinos agreed with the Democrats who sponsored the bill, and they put that bill on the floor. And dozens of pro-gun champions stood up and said, no, we're going to vote no on this. This is not a good bill. We're a no vote. But Mark Genda did not do that. And when the Democrats and the rhinos stood up to vote yes on the bill, he was right there with them. And again, look it up for yourself. It's HB 1365. So he's only had 2 years in office, but he won't co-sponsor the pro-gun bills. I don't think he's sponsored any pro-gun bills of his own. And he joins the Democrats and the radical left, as well as the rhinos, to vote for a gun control bill in his first 2 years in office. Not good stuff from Mark Genda. So guys, if you're a voter in these 4 counties, District 41, you see Joe Strum, be sure to thank Joe for agreeing to sponsor pro-gun bills, for leading the charge, and for a 100% pro-gun candidate questionnaire. That's something to thank him for. And if you see Mark Genda, ask him why he voted with the Democrats and the Rhinos for a gun control bill. Ask him, why didn't you co-sponsor SAPA? Why didn't you co-sponsor legislation to roll back red flag laws? What are you doing? And ask him to fill out the IFC candidate questionnaire, guys. That's our breakdown for this race. Do me a favor, share it online. Make sure every gun voter you know, especially in this district, knows the truth on these 2 candidates. And then to find more breakdowns on more races, go to our YouTube channel or our Facebook page for a lot more. And finally, guys, visit our website at joinifc.com to get signed up as a member today. Thank you.